Hey, it's Dr. Jen. Today is May 2nd, and I just published a new blog on my website, benzowithdrawalhelp.com, all about depersonalization and derealization. We call it DPDR in benzo withdrawal. DPDR is one of those symptoms that are kind of hard to describe. Depersonalization means that we have a sense of that we are outside of ourselves. We don't recognize ourselves. We're observing ourselves. And derealization is that we feel like reality isn't real. It feels very surreal. That's probably the best way we can describe it, but it is very unique to each person who's going through it. I think you kind of know when you have DPDR, things feel distorted. They don't feel real. It feels surreal. It can be a very uncomfortable sensation. I had DPDR pretty intensely. My doctor who was first helping me get off my benzoclonazepam cut my dose quarter the first week and a half the second week. Now that works great for opioids. It's a horrible way to get off of a benzodiazepine. We need to get off much more slowly. So by the 8th day, I had intense DPDR. I've never dropped acid, but I assume that it might feel like what being on an acid trip or any hallucinogenic drug it would feel like. Very frightening, very scary. I thought I was going to go crazy. I thought I had gone crazy. I just kept wanting to shake my head and make it all go away. But it didn't. It got worse. And then, of course, I finally figured out through information at the time, mind you, this was 13 years ago, that my doctor had tapered me way too quickly, and that was what was causing it. So anyway, I've got my whole story about how I got benzo free. It was not an easy journey, but here I am, and I'm 100% well. So I understand how difficult it can be to go through DPDR and how difficult it can be to explain it to somebody who hasn't gone through it. I know I tried to explain it to family and friends, and they were clueless. You know, they have no point of reference. If you say to somebody, hey, I have a bad headache, most everybody has experienced a headache, and they would have some idea of what you were going through. But if you haven't gone or haven't ever experienced DPDR, to tell somebody, you know, what you're experiencing, if they haven't experienced it, it's yeah. I had no idea what it was like until I went through it. And mine lasted for quite a while. The intensity of it got better. It stopped being, you know, an all-day thing or most of the day. And then it got to a place where it was mostly when I was driving, it would happen. And then it all went away. And as I wrote in the blog, I've driven across country by myself twice now, but I drove almost 3,000 miles in just like three and a half days. Not a bit of DPDR. It's all gone away. And for me, it's all just a distant memory. I'm not tortured by it. I don't have PTSD. If I think about some of the times that I had DPDR and, you know, the exact events surrounding it, I'm not triggered. It's like, yeah, that happened. So I'm here to let you know we really can get well and move on beyond this. But let's just talk about what causes DPDR. It's a part of the whole anxiety spectrum. And in benzo withdrawal, as you know, the drugs have worked on the GABA system, which is the inhibitory system, and the brain doesn't like being remodeled. So now you've got a brain that has way too much inhibitory action, not enough excitatory. So we've got GABA and glutamate that really like to have this balanced dance to have homeostasis, to be balanced. And the medication completely turns that upside down, where the neurons are way too sedated. So the brain's really smart, and the brain says, no more of this. We're going to do something to fix it. So it starts turning off some of those GABA receptors. It's called downregulation. So now we've got a nervous system that doesn't have as much working ability to deal with stress or the excitatory, the glutamate, the excitatory part. We're way out of balance. We've got a hyperexcited nervous system. So DPDR can come right on in. Now, not everybody experiences DPDR. If you have yet to experience it, please don't start thinking, oh my goodness, am I going to get it? What am I going to get it? Try to live in the present moment. You don't have it today, and you may not get it. A lot of people don't, but some people do. And if you are experiencing it, it's good to know that it comes from a hyperexcited nervous system. It does not mean that you are going crazy or that you eventually will go crazy. It's just a very uncomfortable coping mechanism of the brain and body. Some people feel like it's a way when we, we kind of pull away from our traumas and stressors, and we disassociate, so to speak. Who knows exactly what are all the factors, what's exactly going on in the brain and body. But we just know that it comes with anxiety, and often with intense anxiety, which is the state that our body is in most of the time. And benzo withdrawal, due to no fault of our own, due to those downregulated GABA receptors, and now we've got a hyperexcited nervous system. So once those receptors begin to heal, recover, upregulate, and the glutamate starts to balance itself out, and we can come to more of a homeostasis, come to more of a balance, the DPDR will go away. In my blog, I list a handful of things that you can do to cope. But one of the best things I think you can do is to educate yourself about DPDR, to know that it is what it is. It's an anxiety response, and it's uncomfortable, but it's not technically dangerous or threatening. And the more that we can just observe it, go, yep, that's what it is, and try to get our hands busy doing something to distract. I always say the best coping mechanism is a box filled with acceptance, patience, gratitude, and distraction. So tap into those 4 things and know that eventually the DPDR, it will go away. And if you have it intensely like I did in the very beginning, my heart just goes out to you. I know how uncomfortable it is to wake up and not feel like you're living in reality or that you are real. And some people even get time distortion. Some people get a sense of deja vu, or they feel like they're living, in a past decade. I mean, there's so many layers and nuances to DPDR, but it does go away. And I just really want to reassure you of that. I've had a lot of people reach out and email me and ask, are you really well? Yes, I'm really well. And I had a horrific recovery. And I was on the medication for 18 very long years, and a horrific way to get off. Eventually it was cold turkeyed, and I'm 100% well and feeling great. I live the 4 cornerstones of well-being: eat right, move enough, stress less, and love or connect well. And that has really been what has healed me and healed all my past trauma, that my anxiety and panic and all of that got me out of benzo in the first place. And I don't think about benzo withdrawal except that I help people in benzo withdrawal, but I certainly don't think about my own recovery. It's water under the bridge, totally. So if you're dealing with DPDR, go check out the blog post. And I hope on the blog post that you will leave some comments and let us know what has helped you. What's your experience been like with DPDR? What has helped? What has not helped? Because the more that we share our thoughts and ideas with one another, the better off the community is. All right, let's end this video as we always do. We're going to say it twice. Are you ready? I am safe. I am healing. I will recover. One more time. I am safe. I am healing. I will recover, because you will. So please, please keep going. Take very good care of yourself. One of the best things you can do for DPDR is to do everything you can that makes you feel safe, that helps you feel grounded and in the present moment. All right, please keep letting me know the topics that you would like me to blog about or post videos. I'm here to help. Please take good care, my friends. Till next time.